Terrified.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Isabel Chavez is suing her ex-girlfriend, Amber Jean Jacobs, for the return of a dog, the unauthorized use of a credit card, and a false arrest for assault.
Order. All rise. It's case number 8 on the calendar in the matter of Chavez versus Jacobs.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
You two women were in a brief relationship, lived together for a while, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And now there are issues, mostly involving animals. Let's deal with, you're not in a relationship anymore. Who moved out?
She was ordered to move out.
So you moved out?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good. And one of the things that's in dispute is a dog.
Yes, Your Honor.
So let's find out when you lived together, for how long, when the dog was purchased, who purchased the dog?
I did.
When did you live together?
We moved into an apartment in June 2017.
And when did you leave?
December 5th, when I got arrested.
So a relatively short period of time.
August 2017.
By you?
Yes.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a French Bulldog.
When you purchased the dog, was the dog purchased with all of your money?
It was, Your Honor.
Okay, and you don't deny that?
No, I gave her money.
No, you
She
don't
never
say
gave
that.
me money.
You don't say that in your answer. So you got to keep it together.
Okay.
Do you understand? You
Yes,
say
Your
that it
Honor.
was her dog, but she gave it to you as a gift. So
Yes.
I want you to try to remember what you said in your answer, okay?
She brought the dog home to me as a gift.
Okay.
Your Honor, I've always
Just
wanted...
listen to me.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a good memory. She's a testament to the fact that if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. Because the first line in your answer is, Isabel and I had a stormy relationship. In fact, Isabel gave me Dobie as a gift after we had a bad fight.
Yes, Your Honor, that's what happened.
It's not true.
We were living together at the time. We had a bad fight. 2 days later, she brought him home to me.
Has the dog been living with her since December 5th?
Yes, because I haven't been allowed back in. She even
How
went
much
to
did you pay for the dog?
$1,400.
The dog is currently with you.
Yes, he's actually registered as my therapy dog. As
With
well
therapy
as
for what?
two
Just a
judges,
second. Therapy
two
for-
judges court-ordered. Sorry.
Therapy for what?
The anxiety that I got after the assault that happened on December 5th.
Second. So the dog wasn't a registered therapy dog until after
Right.
she left.
Right, right.
So for the first 6 months, the dog was not a therapy dog. It was just a dog.
Yes, Your Honor.
Got it. Now, the second major part of your claim is that she had you arrested for assault,
Yes, Your Honor.
and that was on December 5th.
Yes.
December 5th, you and your witness, who was your sister,
Yes.
after an argument, and you had not been living there for a couple of weeks, according to you. You said you needed a breather, so you went home.
Yes.
Did I read that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then you went back with your sister to gather some of your belongings and your dog.
Yes.
And there was a dispute. And as a result of that dispute, police came, interviewed the parties, and you were arrested.
Correct, Your Honor.
After you were arrested, there was a request for a restraining order against you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have a trial on that request for a restraining order?
I did.
And did you lose that trial?
I did.
So that there is a restraining order for how long?
A year.
And after that, since there was a restraining order, the criminal charges against you were dismissed.
Yes, they were.
See how I wasn't even there? Got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
So the part of your request are dismissed
Yes.
because you had a trial on the same allegations that formed the basis of the arrest, and you were found to have committed an act that was sufficiently threatening or dangerous to grant her a restraining order for a year. Got it?
Yes.
Good. However, on your application for either the monetary value or the dog, you get what you paid for the dog. Got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Dog has now been with the two of you for 6 months and with her for the last 3. Got it?
I would also like to say that I have my accounting reports that show all that I did pay for the dog. and I have receipts of all that I bought for and paid for the animals.
Just a sec. You have a receipt that tells me you paid for the animal?
I did give her money to help pay for the dog.
Show me that when the dog was purchased in August of 2017, you gave her a chunk of money at the time that the dog was purchased. That would be in August of 2017. And then that would be interesting because that belies the fact that she surprised you with a puppy after a fight if you paid
we were
for
partners,
it.
so I wanted to help out, Your Honor.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I do understand.
Yeah. So it's either a yay or a nay. Either she gave it to you as a gift, which is what you told me the first time.
That is what happened, Your Honor.
Or you...
I also contributed after the fact
well,
with money.
Just show me in August that you gave her $700.
August 1st.
$700?
Yes.
When was the dog purchased?
August, Your Honor.
August what?
The 1st.
August the 1st. You have something that you gave her $700?
I have my accounting software, yeah. It's an accounting report. So I don't have a signed paper for her.
No, I don't want a signed paper.
Okay.
All I want is August 1st,
Yeah,
2017, you took out a chunk of money, and that chunk of money was $700, which is half the cost of the dog.
I have that.
I'd like to see it, Bird.
If she has that, it's fake, Your Honor, because she never gave me money.
Listen, I don't like fake evidence. I'm going to take a look at it.
It's with the bank.
Oh, well, then you would have the canceled check.
It was cash.
Listen, Miss Jacobs, I want you to understand something. It's either she surprised you with a dog on August 1st and brought it home to you after a fight, or on the same day that the dog was purchased, you paid half. Which is it?
She brought him home, and I also wanted to contribute.
Could you just return this to her? Thank you. We're at your counterclaim. For what?
The cat expenses.
Okay, cat.
Yeah.
Because I knew this was all about animals.
Yeah, I have
Just a second, just...
everything for that cat. All the vet visits.
Where is the cat?
She took him away on December 4th, and the judge ordered the animals to me, but she wouldn't return him.
Where's the cat?
There's no cat, Your Honor.
Well, there was a cat.
There was. My sister picked up the cat, and then she took it back to where it came from. There was no...
I have proof that that's not true.
Just a second. Cat. Let's hear about the cat.
The cat was never hers. I purchased the cats for a friend. I got him in a pair. It was a brother and sister.
When?
October 2017.
Now,
Like
did you
everything
ever
else.
take the cat from her house?
No, Your Honor.
Never.
Okay, that's a lie. I have receipts of all the cat stuff I bought.
I purchased the cat personally.
Just a second. I don't care about the expenses for the cat. If you paid expenses for the cat, did the cat ever live with you?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, just a second. From when to when?
August. I'll have the date on my phone when we first got the cat up until December 4th when Izzy took him. She said she was bringing him to a friend's house because she wanted to take him from me, and I wasn't going to try to physically stop her, so there's nothing I could do about it.
So just a second. So you now have a therapy dog and no cat.
Yeah.
And you haven't had the cat in 3 months.
Right.
Okay, I'm not interested in the cat. Let's go. The other part of your order that I find interesting, in as much as the plaintiff lost her trial from you, Miss Jacobs, what happened on December 5th?
I was home, and she had just taken the cat December 4th, and she told me she was taking Dobie from me too, and I wasn't going to let her take both those animals. They're mine. I've been taking care of them.
Okay, so you let her take the cat.
Yeah, I couldn't stop
Okay,
her.
you let her take the cat, and?
I took the dog elsewhere to protect her from taking him from me as well, and I told her that as much, and I said we needed to go to mediation to work it out, and that's what we were going to do. I wasn't just going to give her the dog so she could have both animals. And then her and her sister showed up at around 12:30 in the morning on December 5th. They came in threatening me, yelling at me.
No. Tell me what was said.
Your Honor, when I got them, my dog was gone.
She says the dog was gone. She said she put the dog someplace else because she was afraid you were going to take the dog.
She never told me she was going to take him anywhere. I got there and I called the cops because he was gone.
I want to know
Okay.
what happened on December 5th.
Okay, she came into the room asking me where Dobie was. I told her I would not discuss it with her because she took Leo, which was my cat, born on my birthday, that I named, and she told me the following things. I hate speaking like this. Okay. You dumb white, look at that, white people. You're a low-life little, does absolutely nothing. Okay. So she was yelling at me, telling me she was gonna ruin my life and take everything from me. And she was throwing her hands in my face, like trying to scare me. She was trying to get the phone out my hand and kept slapping my hands. And they called the cops on me. They called 911, and she lied to the cops. She told them that her roommate stole her dog because I told her, if you call the cops, they're going to tell you it's a civil issue. So she knew not to say I was her partner, so she lied. And while we were waiting for the cops, they were just screaming at me and threatening me, and I wanted to leave because they called a third friend over. I didn't know who it was, but I heard them on the phone. Oh, you're on your way. And I'm scared. I was scared. I was terrified. You know, they're so much bigger than me, and they're threatening me.
I want you to tell me, I'm visualizing what happened on that night, and I also gathered that there was no real physical contact. It was more of a verbal threats and intimidation.
No, they
that
did.
occurred.
I have pictures of my bruises.
I'd like to see them.
Okay.
I also have pictures of that night. There's no bruises from that night.
I have the police report assault photos.
So do I. Never assaulted her. She just claimed we assaulted her.
And I have the police report as well, where they admit what they did, and those are the pictures.
The police interviewed her.
Just don't say anything.
Yes, Your Honor.
2 approximately 2-inch long scratches with bruising along the inside of the right upper arm. I'm just telling you what they observed. Now, she says that they were caught by the suspect, Zulema. Who is that?
Zulema, that's
you.
Honor.
But that's what it says, that's what the police observed. Neither of you know the police officer. The police would have no motive to lie about what the police officer observed. So this is police photographs.
Your Honor, the officer that arrested me, it was his first day. He was a probation officer. He had another cop right next to him telling him what to do, yelling at him.
Hearsay. Not interested. Okay. Interested in what the officer reported the officer saw and the photographs that the officer took that night that support what the officer saw. Do you understand? That's why she was granted a protective order. You got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
Are you not following me? Are you so buzzed that you're not following me?
I'm not buzzed.
Are you so buzzed that you're not following me?
Ma'am, I'm not buzzed at all.
Then I want you to listen to my question.
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Isabel Chavez says ex-girlfriend Amber Jean Jacobs stole and had her falsely arrested. Amber Jean is countersuing for rent, property damage, cat expenses, moving costs, a false restraining order, and domestic abuse.
So now I have what happened on that night. So I'm ready to fix this case and be finished with it. My initial order would have been for the cost of the dog, which was $1,400. I'm awarding the defendant on her counterclaim $2,500, which means you get nothing. Do you understand? What you have to do as a civilized person in a society, if there's a dispute, and the reasonable dispute was you lived together as a couple for a long time, and you had this dog as a couple for a long time, and if there was an issue about whose dog it was, what you do is not go there 12:30 in the morning to get the dog. You got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you end up with nothing. She, on the other hand, is being awarded $2,500 on her counterclaim. Thank you. We're done.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She lied about me hitting her. I would never hit her.
I proved that wrong. I have police reports and pictures.
I never hit her.
I was scared of her myself.
But she could live with this. She could live with this lie.
You know, you get a...
She could live with my dog. She'll think of me every time she sees him.
No, it's totally false. He's what's helped me through this.
I won't think of her anymore.
No, I just want to get out of here and get away from where they are, honestly.
Oh, God. Just don't date someone that looks like her.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Buchanan versus McIntyre. Step forward.
Charles Buchanan is suing his sister-in-law, Sherry McIntyre, for causing his car to be impounded and junked.
Miss McIntyre, you were driving the plaintiff's car. He's your brother-in-law, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
When were you driving the car?
On December, 19th.
Of last year.
Yes, ma'am.
And you got pulled over when you were driving his car. What did you get pulled over for?
Driving on suspended.
No. Now, Miss McIntyre, listen to me very carefully. I read that you got pulled over for driving on a suspended license and you had some outstanding warrants.
Yes, ma'am.
The police officer, unless he's psychic, like Karnak, or
Right.
has a crystal ball, doesn't know that Miss McIntyre is in the car and she has suspended license. So you got pulled over for something else. You got pulled over for either speeding, going through a stop sign, passing a red light, there was something wrong with the car, it didn't have registration. You got pulled over for something else. What did you get pulled over for?
I asked him that. I guess he ran the tag. He knew that I had a warrant.
It wasn't,
Sorry.
couldn't have run the tags and found out that you had a suspended license because it was his car. It's
Okay.
registered in your name, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not her name.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to start again.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You haven't had a trial yet on these
No,
drug
ma'am.
charges, is that right?
I'm waiting trial.
You see, I'm not buying
He
that.
said he pulled up
Just a
next-
second. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not buying that. You do know you're going to kill yourself.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Charles Buchanan says his sister-in-law, Sherry McIntyre, caused his car to be impounded and junked.
So we're going to start again.
Okay. I'm sorry. Previously, I had been pulled over in Ozark for the lights being out, like the taillights being out. And I had a warrant in Springdale.
Are you not following me? Are you so buzzed that you're not following
no, I'm not
me?
buzzed.
Are you so buzzed that you're not
I'm not
following
buzzed,
me?
ma'am. I'm not buzzed at all.
Then I want you to listen to my question.
Yes, ma'am.
The police officer pulled over your car for a reason. Otherwise, it would have been an illegal stop. Either you were committing some sort of a driving infraction or the car registration had expired on the car, and that's why you were pulled over. And once they get your license, and they run your license and say, license is expired, and she's got warrants. Now you understand me?
Yes, ma'am. But
So what were you pulled over for?
I don't know. He said he knew that I had a warrant. He knew that I had a warrant in Springdale and that I was driving on suspended.
You see, I'm not buying
He
that.
said he pulled up
Just
next
a second. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not buying that. Now you're going to show me that the car that she was driving had an up-to-date registration and up-to-date tags. Do you have that with you?
I do not have proof of that, but...
Just a second. Then just show me a police report that says why she was pulled over.
Yes, ma'am, I got the police report right here.
Can I see the police report, please, Bird?
I've got 2 of them.
You haven't had a trial yet on these
No,
drug
ma'am.
charges, is that right?
I'm waiting trial.
You do know you're going to kill yourself. When was the car junked?
I think just like about a week or 2 ago.
A week or 2 ago?
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you get it out of impound?
We had made the agreement after she wasn't making the payments and...
Well, just a second. After December, she couldn't get the car out of impound. Only you could get it out of impound.
Correct, but we didn't...
No, you can't make an agreement with Sherry. Sherry's got her own troubles. Don't tell me about any agreement.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by...
Impound.
No.
And you owe money on it.
Correct.
So why didn't you get it out of impound?
Because she was supposed to pay the money to me when she got her income taxes in. That was the agreement we made, ma'am.
Sorry.
Understand?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You knew the car in December was an impound, and as the registered owner, you were the only one who could get it out.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the case is dismissed. We're done.
Parties are excused. May step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I don't feel that she took advantage. She just...
I think but the decision she made was right. Like, I couldn't get the car out of impound.
just trying to help and helping people in the long run.
He had told me that he would get it out and that I would slowly pay him back.
Her mother contacted us about a week afterwards.
I love my sister and him, and I just wanted to get it all worked out.
She just stays on the right path and just works and does the right thing. You know, love is love.
You and your wife, she would live rent-free.
His vacation ended with a bang.
Was this cabinet broken into?
It was shot. A bullet went through the glass, through the wall.
Where was your gun?
They're all up in my bedroom.
Did this caregiver put lives in jeopardy?
I'd like to see the police report.
We didn't call the police.
Why not? Were you all drunk? Drugging?
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Michael Wilson is suing his former employee, Robin Pruzel, for firing a gun and damaging his TV.
Order. All rise. Your Honor's case number 52 on the calendar, the matter Wilson versus Pruzel.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Wilson, the defendant was your mother's caregiver.
Yes, ma'am.
But then what I gather is you and your wife were going away.
Correct.
And Miss Pruzel needed a place to stay. So you made an arrangement with her that she would take care of your mother and she would move into the house.
Correct.
She would live rent-free. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
and it is your claim that while she was there, she caused certain damage to property in the house.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Pruzel says that she did not cause the damage. She has a ridiculous counterclaim that she took more care of your mother than she thought she was going to take care of, and that you were running an Airbnb that she had to sort of oversee in the house, all things that required more time, so she should get money for that.
Not true.
Well, you have no contract with him for more money. That was not indicated here. So you're not entitled to money just because you think you deserve it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay. When did she become caretaker of your mother and start living in the house?
Okay, I'm gonna try to paint the best picture I can.
No, just tell me. That required a date.
Oh, okay.
When did she start? That required...
About a year and a half ago, she started.
No, not a year and a half ago. When did she move into your house?
December 28th. I have this signed agreement with her for
I'd like to see it. Okay, this says that she takes the responsibility of Judith Wilson, that she's a home health aide. Are you licensed?
I'm a registered nurse.
She's not currently licensed, ma'am.
No, okay, yeah, I'm right.
I've got a question. Do you have to be a registered home live?
Not to take care of his mother, the type of patient she is. She's basically, I just help her with getting food, help her get bathed, you know, activities of daily living. No medication, no nothing. No, ma'am, you do not.
Okay. I am responsible for any and all things having to do with her care and well-being. I've been given guardianship by her son, Michael Wilson, who has her power of attorney. Agreement will remain in effect until June 1st, 2018. Where are you living now, Miss Pruzel?
I live with my mother.
Are you currently employed?
Yes, ma'am.
By whom?
Myself. I take care of people, excuse me. Oh.
You want to tell me, Mr. Wilson, what damage you are alleging?
Damage to my television, damage to my wall from a supposed accidental discharge from one of my rifles from my gun collection.
Do you have photographs of the
damage?
Yes, ma'am.
There's the TV. There's also a video of the... Oh, sorry, sir.
Just a minute. Just photographs.
The video of the TV. Thanks. The video will show when the TV repairman came out and got the TV to come on temporarily. You can see the lines, you know, kind of like on your cell phone if you get a crack.
Where was the TV?
Yes, ma'am.
And where was your gun?
They're all up in my bedroom. Yeah, I don't keep anything down outside of my bedroom. I have a solid...
They're in a cabinet?
Yes. I have a picture of that as well.
May I see it, please?
And I told her to keep my room secured at all times. It has a deadbolt on it. It has a solid bedroom door. I did that intentionally to keep everything more secure.
Just a second. Was this cabinet broken into?
It was shot.
It was shot?
It was shot. A bullet went through the glass, went through the back of it, through the wall.
And tell me when you discovered that, sir.
My mother had, she didn't expect me home till June the 1st, is that statement. My mother had a catastrophic stroke. I had to come home early. I came home in March, and that's when the real story had come out about the gun cabinet. I had sent my stepson here while I was gone. I told him, I said, pretend like you're getting me something out of my room so you can check my room out for me. And he went up there. He said...
Don't tell me what he said. Okay. You went up there when, sir?
I went up there that evening.
What evening?
I don't know the exact date.
What month?
Of February.
Okay, so you went to the house to check on it in February.
Correct.
Was she at home?
She was. She allowed me in the room. She's the only one. I approached the room. She allowed me to go in. I was on the phone with Mike. The first thing I noticed was a gun cabinet being broken, shattered. It was taped up, so the glass wasn't all the way pressed through. I noticed that the room had clothes and items all over the room. And then at that point in time, I informed him.
Did you ask her what happened to the cabinet?
I did not ask her or state anything.
Have any conversation with her?
Correct.
How did she appear?
When I first got there, she was like nervous, kind of, you know, cursing under her breath as if she was caught in something that she wasn't supposed to be doing.
Did you get there in the evening?
Yes, mid-evening.
Was anybody else there?
I did not go on the other side of the house, but I only interacted with her.
So you only saw her?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Can I see the video now,
Sure.
Bud?
All right, here's the TV that's got the little spot on it right here. You can clearly see that's what caused the TV to go out. But you can see the line and the screen.
And you can see the board does work because...
Yeah, it won't stay on. Anyway, you can see where the line stops, right at the dot, right at the chip. That's definitely what caused the TV to go out.
Okay, Miss Bruzel, how did the cabinet get broken?
Your Honor,
It get broken.
the Airbnb guests that were staying at the home, a fellow by the name of Charles, came upstairs into Michael Wilson's room. He wasn't invited, and when he came upstairs, he was drunk. When he came upstairs, I told him that Mike doesn't want anybody in his room, and he just said, I want to see the guns collection. So when he came in the room, he's a big guy. When he came in the room, he was just looking at the guns.
What month?
That was in March or into February. I don't remember the exact date.
I want you to think hard. I want you to think hard. Was it before or after this young man came?
It would have been towards the end of February because my birthday is March the 10th.
Was it before or after this young man came to the house?
It was before he came to the house.
How many days before he came to the house did this person from the Airbnb come in to see the guns, this big guy? How many days before he came?
It was probably about 2 weeks. Because I know for a fact. It was 2 weeks because the first week that it happened...
Just a second. 2 weeks before. So tell me what the big guy did. Tell me what the big guy did.
He came in there, and he was looking at the guns, and he picked up one of the assault rifles, and he took out of the chamber, and then he was just waving it around, looking at it like this and that, and then he put it out like this, and the gun went off. There was another bullet down in the thing.
Just shh. Yeah. Just a second. And then what did he do?
Well, everybody stood frozen.
Who's everybody?
Well, myself and him and Jacqueline.
What's a Jacqueline?
Her name is Jacqueline.
What was she doing there?
She was helping me take care of Mike's mom.
You just told me you did very little else for his mother. You got to help her get food. She didn't need any medication. You don't need a license. What did she need 2 people for? You go where I'm going.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, so you and Jacqueline are there with big whatever his name is, despite the fact that you told him not to touch anything, took out a gun, fired the gun. I'd like to see the police report.
We didn't call the police.
Why not? Why not? Were you all drunk?
No, ma'am, I was not drinking.
Drugging?
No, not drugging.
Ooh.
They slept together, Your Honor.
Just a second. Listen to me.
Slept together.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I know my customers.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 50 years.
Okay.
50. 50.
My apologies.
And when did you call the plaintiff to tell him that his property was damaged?
I did not call him.
Right.
Excuse me.
Right. May I please see the repair of the cabinet, the repair of your TV?
Yeah. And one more, right here.
Thank you.
One was the original receipt from Dell where I purchased it. The other one was from that day the TV repair guy came.
I got it. Cost of TVs have gone down. She's lucky. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,400. We're done. Counterclaims dismissed. We're finished.
Wow.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, it went as it should. Judge Judy is a very smart cookie. She can read through. It was very obvious.
I didn't have anything to do with the gun. I didn't shoot the gun.
Her and this guy who shot the gun cabinet, They slept together.
That's not at all what happened.
I found out she's a convicted felon 20 times over.
He's a liar.
She's like a kid when they're lying to get out of trouble.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Chandler versus Butters. Step forward.
Sherry Chandler is suing her grandson's ex-girlfriend, 22-year-old Bridget Butters, for an unpaid loan to bail her grandson out of jail.
Ms. Chandler, it is your claim that the defendant who has a baby and your grandson is dead, and it is your claim that the defendant called you to borrow $1,000 towards his bail, which you gave to her to bail your grandson out of jail.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're complaining that she doesn't let you see your great-grandchild. I can't decide that case. That has nothing to do with me. If you want to exercise grandparent visitation, you have to go to family court, file a petition if you're allowed to do that in your jurisdiction, and file for visitation.
I understand.
Now, Miss Butters doesn't live with your grandson, and he doesn't live with her. He also has other children.
Yes, ma'am.
With other ladies. How many other children does he have?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If she and the mother of the other child wanted him out of jail to see which one he picked.
Yes.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Sherry Chandler says her grandson's ex-girlfriend, Bridget Butters, owes for a loan to bail her grandson out of jail.
Miss Butters doesn't live with your grandson, and he doesn't live with her. He also, how many other children does he have?
One. He has another daughter.
And he doesn't live with either of those two people?
Not anymore.
How old is he?
22.
I wouldn't be suing anybody. I would be after him if I were you, if you have any control over him whatsoever.
I don't have any control over him. He's grown.
Then even if I believe that you loaned the defendant $1,000 to help bail him out, why would I believe that you would do that?
Because they wanted him out.
Why would they want him out? Why would she want him out? He doesn't live with her. He's 22 years old. There's no question in my mind that he doesn't support this baby. No question. I mean, is the other child that he has older or younger than your child?
Older.
Older. How much older?
4 months.
4 months. Genius.
Yeah.
Genius. Yeah, that would be you. He's an idiot. He's 22 years old. He's 21 years old. He's 20 years old. He doesn't know that there are other parts of his body that he can think with.
Exactly.
You want to tell me a story? I have other cases to do today. This one is not impressing me.
Okay. Well, Bridget called me and asked me to borrow $1,000 until she get our income tax check because they both wanted him out of jail to see who he was going to be with. That part I don't care about.
Well, then if you're a smart lady, where did you get the $1,000 from?
Because...
Like somebody said to you, would you take out $1,000 out of your bank and see how fast the rainstorm can get it down the sewer?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you're telling me, that she and the mother of the other child wanted him out of jail to see which one he picked.
Yes, exactly. That's what happens.
Like a joust.
That's what happened. But I was stupid because I did a title loan.
A title loan?
Yes, that's how I got the $1,000. And like I told Bridget, I'm a once-a-month income person. I don't have the money, but I did this because they wanted They
wanted him to be able to be out to make a choice.
Yes, that's what they wanted. And by me doing this, I do it, you know, I'm a sucker for my great-grandbabies. I love them to death. And then after I do this, then I don't get my money back. And I told them that's what I need to pay my bills. And I have it out here in Texas where she promised to give me my money back. And that's what I wanted. And then she take the baby away from me. I couldn't see the baby. I went bought her a dress for Easter. I bought both of them dresses for Easter to take them to church because I wanted them to be with me. And then she takes the baby away from me, won't bring the baby over. I can't bond with a
Handler. What am I going to tell you?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I wouldn't take out a title loan on my car for my idiot grandchild.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 years from now, he's not going to remember what her face looks like.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Sherry Chandler says Her grandson's ex-girlfriend, Bridget Butters, owes for a loan to bail her grandson out of jail.
Miss Chandler, what am I going to tell you? You have a 22-year-old idiot for a grandchild.
Yes.
And I wouldn't take out a title loan on my car for my idiot grandchild.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 years from now, he's not going to remember what her face looks like.
I've been trying to tell them that. But they want to argue with each other back and forth.
So what does that have to do with you taking out $1,000 to give to her? You didn't take out $1,000 to give to her. You took out $1,000 to get your grandson out of jail. That's what you did. You took out $1,000 to get your grandson out of jail.
If they hadn't never called me and asked me, I wouldn't have done it.
If I came to you and said to you, one of my grandchildren is in jail and I don't have any money, would you do that?
Yes, I would.
Oh, not in a million years.
Yes, I would.
You would take out a title loan on your car
Yes.
for a perfect stranger?
She was a perfect stranger.
No, I'm talking about me.
Yes.
You had a title loan on your car to get your grandchild out of jail. That's what you did. And you're never going to be able to convince me otherwise.
Okay.
Never happen. Never happen.
It didn't happen because I'd never called her and asked her for the $1,000. I spoke to the other baby's mother, and we had spoke about the money, but I never asked Miss Chandler for the $1,000.
What, did she give you $1,000?
She never handed me $1,000. And as far as taking the baby away from her, Your Honor, I have proof of not taking the baby from her.
Listen to me. I just told you. I'm not dealing with that. Family court has to deal with it. If she wants visitation, family court will listen to you, listen to her, and say, which of these two stories do I believe? Should Miss Chandler be part of this baby's life? Usually a baby is better off having a large circle of community that loves them. And if Miss Chandler loves this baby, and if she's a good influence on his upbringing, that would be great. I don't know about your other children, Miss Chandler. Are they okay? Your children, are they okay? Is this the only grandchild that you had that was in trouble?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, then the family court judge is going to have to make some serious decisions about whether or not being in your environment is a good thing for a baby or not. I believe that you bailed your grandson out of jail. Is he out of jail now or in jail?
He's out.
He's out. And who is he with?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't believe that you gave her $1,000 for her. I believe that you bailed your grandson out of jail. Is he out of jail now or in jail?
He's out.
He's out. And who is he with?
Neither one of us.
Neither one. Have you seen him since he's out of jail?
When he's
No,
not
just
at
a
her
second.
house.
Have you seen him since he's out of jail?
I've seen him a couple times.
Just a second. Put your hand down.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've seen him since he's out of jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell him to get a job and give you back your money. That'll keep him busy so he doesn't make any more babies. We're done here.
You don't even want to see my evidence?
No.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I don't really have a reaction because I knew that this was going to happen.
She's not being honest about the money.
Because I never have $1,000 in my hand.
Whether Judge Judy believe it or not, that's on her.
It's either they can accept it or not. I mean, I don't know where to go with it.
If she wanted me to be a part of that grandbaby's life, the baby is 6 months old. I think I can count on one hand how many times that baby's been
For her to be a part of her family.
I'm just glad it's over and done with, and I hope she live a better life than what she's living.
It's the final days of Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Get big clearance savings on the last of our 2018s. The bottom line, Nissan has received more initial quality awards than any other brand. The smartest time to buy an award-winning Nissan is now.
Get a low $199 per month lease on the 2018 Rogue, or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models.
But hurry, the bottom line and our 2018s are almost gone.
You may not have noticed, but it's all connected to the internet. Sure, it's YouTube, Netflix, and adorable selfies, but it's also high-octane gaming, security cams, thermostats, your fridge, Wi-Fi speakers, smartwatches, workout equipment, pet feeders, and even crock pots. Seriously. And it's all on the same internet connection. At least with internet from Suddenlink, your home can live up to its fully connected potential. Without it, not so much. Suddenlink, the fastest internet provider in the U.S.
You're watching KAEF ABC 23. Live from our studio in downtown Eureka, KAEF ABC 23. At 6, severe weather first.
Good evening, I'm Dylan Brown. Leading us off tonight, crime. And we start right here in Humboldt, where a man is seriously attacked with an unusual garden tool. This, according to the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office, who tells us deputies were dispatched to the 1600 block of Bird Avenue for the report of a fight between two roommates. Now, when deputies arrived on scene, they learned that the suspect, 37-year-old Thomas Earl Shriver of McKinleyville, allegedly attacked a 42-year-old man with gardening shears after that argument. Now, this is Shriver's mug. Investigators say the victim suffering non-life-threatening injuries to his hands and arms, but was taken to a hospital for treatment. Now, officials tell us Shriver was taken into custody on scene without incident. He was booked into Humboldt County Jail for assault with a deadly weapon other than a firearm. Some gang convictions coming out of the Humboldt District Attorney's Office tonight. Now, just within the last hour, the DA telling us that today, 39-year-old Joe Olivio Jr. and 32-year-old Joe Olivo and Mario Nunez pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter as part of a criminal gang. Both defended 16 years in state prison. The DA also says 20-year-old Joe Olivo III, who they say was a minor at the time of the incident, pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter using a knife. He will be sentenced on October 4th to serve up to 12 years in prison. These convictions are for their roles in the death of 14-year-old Jesus Garcia Romero, who was stabbed to death back in 2014 in an apartment in the 700 block of P Street here in Eureka. Humboldt law enforcement takes down a man wanted on sex offenses. This is all according to Fortuna Police, who say last night around 9, the Fortuna Police Department got a citizen's tip that a 34-year-old Fortuna man, Polito Segura, who was wanted on several felony charges, was at an apartment on Ronerville Road. Officers responding to that home learning that the suspect was on the property and possibly armed.
You tell me why she would give you a phone.
The terms were communicated.
She said, well, I can buy it, and then you can just pay me back for it when you get paid.
Then young friends have a disconnect.
She starts texting me. One day she wants me to have the phone. The next day she wants it back.
Even the grown-ups are stumped.
It's a really confusing thing.
It's super confusing, and I'm not easily confused.
Judge Judy.
Enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Kylie Stroud says former friends Desiree Wisnett and her sister Anastasia won't return her iPhone. Kylie is also suing for slander.
Order. All rise. This is case number 27 on the calendar in the matter of Stroud versus Wisnett. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
How are you related to each other?
She's my sister.
How old are you?
18.
How old are you?
20.
How old are you?
20.
Who do you live with?
My mother and father.
Who do you live with?
My mother.
Oh, my other sister. I don't live with my mom.
Raise your hand if you have children. Raise your hand if you're going to have children. Soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Have to find something else to do. Constructive.
I agree.
Look at your mother.
Yep.
Get an education, get a job, have a career, have a life. Where's her phone?
It's gone.
Who did she give it to?
She gave it to me.
When did she give it to you?
In December, towards the end of December.
Why did she give it to you?
Because she purchased...
That with your money?
Yes, I did with a credit card, yes.
From your job?
Yes.
And how much do you make at this job?
I make between $400 to $500 a week.
Gross or net? That's not a hard question. If you're pregnant, you should know the difference between gross and net.
It's gross.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes. It's about $1,500 a month.
Gross or net? What do you take home?
I take home $450 a week.
Do you have a car?
Yes, I do.
Who bought the car?
I did.
Have a loan on the car?
Yes.
So with that $450, you pay off the loan. And insurance?
Yes.
Good. And how pregnant are you?
About 11 weeks.
And you plan on staying home after you have this baby, or is this baby going to be taken care of by your mother?
I'm going to stay home and get stable and have everything get together and planning on moving out.
What does that mean?
I don't think she plans on just staying home for the amount of weeks that she's allotted for, you know.
And then you're going to take care.
And then I'll be taking care. Yes.
Then you're a mom all over again.
Yes.
And how old are you?
I'm 43. Yeah, I wasn't too happy.
Yeah, good. Now you can sit down. Now I know you're normal. Okay, so let me flush this outfit out. But it would seem to me that if you are 20 years old, living at home, you have a job, you have a baby, you don't spend $800 for a phone and then don't like that phone and buy a different phone for another $800 on a credit card. Not smart. I know you can have a phone that doesn't cost $800. Now I'm going to come back to you. You tell me why she would give you a phone that's worth $800. Don't look over there. Look over here.
We were friends at the time.
Friends. Good friends who work and who work hard enough to make $450 a week. Don't give a friend an $800 phone. Doesn't happen. What do you do to occupy your time?
Well, right now I'm a waitress at a...
So you work? Mm-hmm. When she transferred the phone to you, what were you doing?
When she transferred the phone to me, I was working at Pizza Hut.
Okay, so you were working.
Yes, ma'am.
And you needed a phone.
Yes, ma'am.
So, tell me about it.
We made an agreement after she got herself in a bind wanting to take the 8+ back because she realized she didn't need it. We made an agreement that I would pay her, and I had given her $400 for the phone. And then she starts texting me. One day she wants me to have the phone. The next thing, all my family about it.
I don't care about your family. I don't care about harassment. I don't care about anything else. I care only about the phone.
Okay, so I told her that I was gonna get a new phone in my mom's name through a different company, and that once I got my new phone, she could have her phone back in result of her giving me the money I have given her for the phone. I had given her money for the phone.
There's no such word as given.
Well, given money for the phone, and I told her that once I received the money I gave for the phone, she could have her phone back.
Did she also transfer to you another piece of equipment?
Yes.
What other piece of equipment did she transfer?
It was an Apple Watch.
An Apple Watch. And why would she transfer an Apple Watch to you?
She paid for it with a credit card at Walmart.
Just a second. She paid for it?
Yes.
I don't care whether you paid for it in gold or silver or Bitcoin or cash. She paid for an Apple Watch. Why did she give it to you?
Because we made an agreement that I would pay her back for it.
Okay, so now she's given you a phone and an Apple Watch.
Yes, ma'am.
That she purchased. How much did you pay for the phone?
$940.69.
On what date?
July 11th of 2017.
And on what date did you purchase the Apple Watch? Time in February of this year.
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you transfer both items to her? On what date?
The phone was on February 10th, and the Apple...
February 10th of
2018. And the Apple Watch was a week prior to that, so around February 20th of 2018.
No, if it was a week prior, that means before.
I'm sorry, a week after.
And how much money was she supposed to pay you for both things?
$856.
For both?
Yes.
Who has the Apple Watch?
It has been returned.
To whom?
To Walmart.
By whom?
We both took it back together.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you get a credit for it?
No, she kept the money for it.
Who pays your credit card bill?
I do.
Something's not processing right here.
When I purchased the Apple Watch, I had actually paid cash first, and then I paid with my debit card. I had saved up money from Christmas and stuff, so I had money put up.
It resulted in we were sitting at her house, and I was going to purchase it with my next check by myself, and they were on sale at Walmart at the time, and we were sitting in her room, and she said, well, I can buy it, and then you can just pay me back for it when you get paid. And that's how the conversation went.
Just a second. She already had it. Why would you return it? You mean you bought it when it was on sale?
Yes, we bought it when it was...
Bought it on her credit card. She just said she paid cash for it.
No, she paid with her card, one of her cards.
For the watch?
For the watch.
And then you returned it, you said?
Yes, she's the one that took me to return it in her car, as well as she took me to pick it up and when she paid for it. She was with me when I received the cash from returning it, They gave us cash back, and I asked her, did she want the cash? And she said, no, you can pay me back at a later date.
That is incorrect.
It sounds something...
It's very confusing. Sorry, it's a really confusing thing.
No, it's super confusing, and
Yeah.
I'm not easily confused.
Yeah, I'm not either, but this one was really confusing.
Did you finally understand it?
I did, and I actually helped her write a text about it to Desiree, explaining like what was owed, what was paid and stuff.
No, well, that's after the fact.
Yes.
I don't care what she wrote to her after the fact. I'm trying to figure out what the two of them did, what kind of scam they were trying to do. I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't think they were trying to scam. I think it was like buyer's remorse. I think that, from what I understood, was Desiree had lost her job and didn't have the money, so she had returned the watch to get the money back to pay bills. That's the only thing I understood out of the whole situation on the watch issue.
I didn't lose my job at Pizza Hut, nor I work as a waitress, yes, I do.
So you're not working at the same place anymore?
No, but I didn't lose my job. I resigned, I put in my 2-week notice and did it the right way.
Just a second. Whatever it is, you were no longer working there. Now I got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So she returned the watch and she got the cash. Okay. Perfect. Got it. Now, you had made an arrangement with her to pay you for both items.
Yes.
$850?
Yes.
Okay. Watch, she doesn't have anymore. She took back.
That is
Got the
correct.
cash. How much cash did she give you altogether for both the phone and the watch?
She gave me $400.
So she owes you $450.
Yes, but when I had decided, I said, you know, you can give me the phone back and I'll pay you the money that you gave me, minus the amount that you owed me for the Apple Watch. So I went to the ATM, took out $300, and I had gave it to her. We went to Walmart. I was trying to be a good friend. We went to Walmart and got her phone so she can use. It was $100.
Okay. So she gave you $400, and of the $400, you gave her back $300.
Yes.
And that's when I decided that I wanted all of the money. And this is the text message.
No. I'm not buying you. So now she's back up to $750. She paid you $400. That was $300 of the $400 that she gave you. That would mean $750 that she owes you.
Yes.
And then?
And then we went to Walmart, and I gave her $300. We got a phone. It was $173.
And?
And we were driving back to her house, and she said, no, never mind. I'm just going to pay you. And I said, okay, fine. So we went back to Walmart, returned the phone. She gave me the money back for the phone, which was $173 plus the $100. So she gave me $273 altogether for the Apple Watch.
She owed you altogether $850. Bird, $687?
$577.
$577?
$577.
Oh, God. So glad you're with me. What else?
My little brother had messaged her, and she had threatened to hurt my little brother. She said he's going to end up getting hurt if she doesn't leave him alone.
I don't care. Everybody has to keep a little busier, doing a little more important things than trying to be stupid. And if you're 18 and 19 and 20 and acting stupid, that's fine. Just don't have children. $577. Is there anything else that you can think of?
Yeah.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $577. We're finished. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just, you know, trying to be a good friend to someone.
At the time, we were really close friends until she had got pregnant by somebody that wants nothing to do with her. She co-signed for him a car.
Her child was.
Spent all her money off her credit cards and then became a money-hungry person.
So I don't even know. She's throwing stuff at my face.
That wanted all types of money from anybody she could get money from.
The whole situation is just a lot of stuff going on, but...
That she doesn't talk to me no more.
It is what it is, and lesson learned.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hinchley versus Hernandez. Step forward.
Vicki Hinchley is suing motorist 20-year-old Leslie Hernandez for hitting her car while she was trying to back into a parking spot.
Miss Hinchley, this is your son. You're the actual plaintiff because the car belongs to you. Your son was driving the car. You're how old?
I'm 19.
You weren't there during the course of the accident and have no idea what happened?
No, I was not there.
Good. You can have a seat.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You want to tell me your version of this? Yeah. Listen to me. Don't embarrass yourself.
Okay.
Try not to embarrass yourself.
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
19-year-old Matthew Hinchley says fellow motorist Leslie Hernandez backed into his car while she was trying to park.
The accident occurred on October the 17th, 2017.
And you and the defendant go to school together?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
And you were parked in your parking spot?
Yes, I was.
Had you just pulled into the spot, or were you leaving?
No, I was leaving. I was coming back from class.
And you were arriving to class?
Yes, I was.
You want to tell me your version of what happened?
Yes. So, I was walking back from class. I was walking into the structure to go to my parked car, and I saw her back into my car up here, and she readjusted and then reparked our car. I continued to walk to the car, saw the damage, and looked at her. She looked at the car herself and then looked at me, rolled down her passenger side window and asked, "Did I hit your car?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, you did hit my car." And from there, she was kind of rushing the situation, kind of a little flustered, trying to get through it. I asked her, "Do you want to call the campus security to get a police report?"
Go back to your seat.
Yes, ma'am.
So you said to her, you were out of the car because she rolled out the window. You were standing.
Yes, I was.
You were standing at the driver's side.
I was standing at her passenger side door.
At her passenger side?
Yes, she was backing into the parking space.
Oh, she was backing in.
Yes.
Got it. When you said to her, "Did you want me to call campus security?" what did she say?
She said, "No, we should just exchange information."
Did you do that?
Yes, we did.
On October 17th, when this happened, did you have...
With me, if you...
So you had liability?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the deductible on your liability?
I am not sure right now.
So you exchanged information?
Yes, we did.
Did you try to contact her insurance company?
I did.
And?
And I continued to contact her insurance company. Their insurance company played a runaround, and it was actually my mom that dealt more with the insurance company.
I was dealing with the insurance company.
Do you have any documentation of that?
Yes.
I'd like to see it. So they offered you a couple of $100s to go away, her insurance company?
Correct.
Mr. Hinchley, did you notice any damage to the defendant's car?
I noticed some small damage on her quarter panel, yes.
Show me exactly where the damage was.
On her car?
To her car.
On her car, it would have been right here, just behind the passenger side wheel, on the quarter panel.
Okay. So I have a couple of things.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I suggested you not embarrass yourself. It's physically impossible coming out of a parking space for him to hit it with the front. He could hit it with the back, but he can't slide into it. Do you understand?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
19-year-old Matthew Hinchley says fellow motorist Leslie Hernandez backed into his car while she was trying to park.
Now, did you report this accident to your insurance company?
I did not.
One must only assume you did not report it to the insurance company because?
Because we had both agreed that it wasn't that big of a deal, and it was
if
only
it wasn't that big of a deal, why did you give him your insurance information?
I did not give him my insurance information right away. I only gave him my phone number because he had only requested my phone number at first.
Okay, so he gave him his phone number, and then he called you and asked you for your insurance information.
He texted me.
And did you give it to him?
I did, because
Great.
he kept continuously texting me, and it was becoming too much, and I was like, all right,
I
here it
don't
is.
care. You want to tell me your version of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to me. Don't embarrass yourself.
Okay.
Try not to embarrass yourself.
Okay. So I was coming into the parking garage, and I was backing up into a spot, and the plaintiff was backing out of his...
That's what... So now you're going to show me the damage to your car?
Yes.
You want to show me where the damage is to your car? Make a circle. And I'll also take the photographs of the plaintiff's car.
Thank you.
Look, I suggested you not embarrass yourself. You see what you said in your diagram? That diagram shows that he hit you in the center of your car. That's what it shows.
It's actually closer to the fender.
No, that's what it shows. That's what you told me happened. This is a scrape on a wheel. That's what you, this is...
That's on the fender.
Right above the wheel. Okay. And this is where you backed into his car. He can't hit your car with the side of his car.
I understand, and that's why I was completely understanding.
Do you understand that? Space for him to hit your car with the side of his car. He can hit it with the front. He could hit it with the back. But he can't slide into it. Do you understand?
I understand.
All right, good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you have an estimate?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it. I'd get better insurance if I were you. $21.56, judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you. We're done.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Well, I mean, it's just Judy. Whatever she says goes.
I do not feel I was responsible for the accident that day.
I mean, there's always two sides to one story, right?
I was at school. I was just doing my normal classes. And from there, I was just going home, and she's backing into my car.
They are definitely trying to get more money than this company.
Yes, she did initially say that she admitted fault and that she would pay for it.
Accidents happen.
After that day, she wanted to continue to fight and not pay for it.
He brought in 2 healthy dogs.
Correct.
With 4 healthy eyes.
A disturbing call interrupts a vacation.
She told me that Oliver had been in an accident at the kennel.
Did she not obey this owner's warning?
She said she believed they was fighting over the food, and I asked her, I said, why would you feed them together? I never have ever fed them together.
Ma'am, that is not what I said.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Dog trainer Ursula Pettyjohn is suing former client James White for unpaid boarding fees for his 2 dogs.
Order. All rise. This is case number 562 on the calendar, the matter of Pettyjohn versus White. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Miss Pettyjohn, is boarding dogs your business?
Yes, it is.
How long has it been your business?
I started a kennel in 2004 and then with a partner separated from her and then started the kennel I currently have in 2008.
How many dogs do you take care of at any one time?
My kennel permit allows me to have up to 40, but it probably averages around 20.
And the defendant brought his 2 dogs for you to take care of?
Correct.
Had he ever brought his dogs to you before?
He was a new client.
And how many days were his dogs at your facility?
He checked in on December 23rd, 17, and checked the 2018.
Now, Mr. White says while the dogs were in your care, one of the dogs was severely injured and blinded. So let's get some facts that we all agree on. He brought in 2 healthy dogs.
Correct.
With 4 healthy eyes.
Correct.
What he retrieved from you were 2 dogs that had 3 eyes.
Correct.
And there is no question that the dogs were entrusted to you to take care of.
Correct.
So I actually think that your lawsuit is ridiculous. But I assume you have a contract that would support your position. I'd like to see it. You're talking about the Lead Me On boarding kennel agrees to take due care and diligence with respect to the boarded animals, and while taking all reasonable care will not take any liability or loss or damage, including but not limited to fire, theft, disease, death, escape, or injury to dogs in their care. Okay, so now the burden is on you to explain to me how this injury took place to the dog.
I was not actually present. We don't
well, then
have
if you're not
cameras.
Then if you're actually...
Celeste was here. She was the one that found the dogs that were injured.
Okay. Your last name is?
Rodriguez.
Miss Rodriguez, how long have you worked for the plaintiff?
A year and a half.
So now I would like you to tell me on what date did you discover injured dogs, multiple dogs?
1 dog.
Tell me where you found the dog.
I found them in their kennel.
Whose kennel?
The kennel that they were being boarded in.
Both of them boarded together?
Yes.
What kind of dogs are they?
One's a Boston Terrier mix, and the other is a Bully Mastiff mix.
And which dog was injured?
Oliver, the Boston Terrier mix.
What did you find?
So after I fed everybody,
first, explain that to me.
When I asked James what their feeding looks like, I asked specifically how much do they get fed. He said Oliver eats out of the bowl first, and then Taz in the same bowl finishes off what Oliver did not eat, because our policy...
Is that what you told them?
No, ma'am.
No way. No way. I don't believe, it's impossible for me to believe that an owner of a dog would tell you, you put food in one bowl and then one dog will eat it until they're full, and then he'll step away and the other dog is going to go over and finish what the leftover is. No sane person would tell you that.
When I came to the scene, because I was not, I asked Celeste what instructions she had been given, because I wanted to make sure that we had followed the instructions. I then called James White and I asked him, and I did not tell him what Celeste had said, because I wanted to make sure that if there had been any misunderstanding or mistake, that I knew whether or not I was responsible for anything that had happened with those dogs.
Just a second.
He told me verbatim
hey, listen to me.
What she had said.
Just a second.
He told me.
Are you telling me that you called him after the dog was injured?
Correct. I called him.
You called him not before. She checked in the dog. She got this fakakta mishearing of what a dog owner said to her. You didn't ask her to repeat it to you. You waited until after the dog was injured. And then you said to her, well, you fed him out of one bowl? She said, that's what he told me to do. I've had 30 dogs. I never fed them all 30 in my lifetime. I've never had dogs eat out of the same bowl.
You should never have dogs.
Just a second. Should never. So if somebody were boarding dogs with me and I got this stupid instruction that somebody gave me, I would say, listen, I can't do that. I actually can't take dogs that eat out of the same bowl, because that's bound to be trouble, because dogs are more stressed when they're away from home, and what may work for you doesn't work here. So if you insist upon feeding them out of the same bowl, take them someplace else. Those vet bills. And he's not responsible to pay you. Or if he's responsible to pay you, I'm going to deduct it from whatever the vet bills are. Do you have a copy of the vet bills for your dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Dog ended up losing an eye.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. White, on what date did you get a call from the plaintiff?
It was December 31st, ma'am.
Would you tell me what her conversation was with you?
Well, she called me that night about 9:30 East Coast time, and she told me that Oliver had been in an accident at the kennel. So I asked her what happened, and she told me we fed the dogs at the same time, and one of the dogs attacked Oliver. So then I was like, well, is he okay? She was like, well, we're at the emergency room right now, and he has to have his eye removed. So then I talked to the vet, and then I talked to her again, and she told me Taz had attacked Oliver because they fed them together.
Ma'am, that is not what I said.
Miss Pettyjohn, what the defendant says is you said to him, your dog has been in an accident. He was attacked.
I did not say that.
I would like you to tell me exactly what you remember saying to him.
So what I remember saying to him is that Taz had bit Oliver, that there were multiple injuries in addition to...
What you said to him was, Taz to you.
She told me Oliver was attacked by Taz because they fed them together.
So she did say Oliver was attacked by Taz. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you say?
I asked her what happened, and that's when she told me that they had just fed them together, and she said that she believed they was fighting over the food, and I asked her, I said, why would you feed them together? Because I never have ever fed them together. And then she told me that they was at the hospital now, his eye had to be removed. I said, are you sure it has to be removed? She's like, yes, it's hanging out of the socket now. Then I talked to the actual vet who was gonna perform the surgery.
How long had you had these two dogs?
I had Oliver and Taz for 18 months before this happened.
Ever had any incidents with them?
No, ma'am. And I have proof for every kennel that they have ever went to, and it shows that it says do not feed the dogs together.
How many times have you kenneled the dogs?
I've kenneled the dogs there 10 times, ma'am, at the other kennel.
Ma'am, at the time that I called him...
I'm reading something. Why didn't you take the dogs back to this same place where you had taken them before, where it clearly indicates on the boarding form Oliver will eat everything. Separate to feed.
Those would have been nice instructions.
No, you had food. Just a second. You had instructions by Miss Rodriguez. She told you that he said to feed him out of the same bowl. That's what she told you.
Yes.
Yes. Well, why would a boarding place who boarded the dogs 10 times have specific instructions, separate to feed, and your assistant would tell you that he told your assistant, feed him out of the same bowl?
So I did not have, obviously, the past kennels, but he also said that I told him that the dogs...
You're not answering my question. You're not answering my question.
Please restate the question.
I'm going to restate the question. Unless he's on some sort of psychotropic medication or suffered from a severe traumatic brain injury, he told a previous kennel that kenneled the dogs 10 times in each of the instructions, separate them to feed them.
He did.
Hey, just a second. When he came to your assistant clearly remembers him saying, feed them together out of the same bowl. Put the food in, one will finish, and then step aside and let the other one eat. That's what she told me. Now, unless she's got a screw loose, or he has a screw loose and was looking to have his dogs injured, because it's clear that he told everybody else, separate to feed, except your assistant.
His own words over the phone, verbatim.
That's covering your behind when the dog lost an eye. After the dog lost an eye is when you called him.
No, ma'am, I wanted to know from him what his feeding instructions were, and he told me verbatim.
Very good.
What she had said.
Your claim is dismissed. Counterclaim is granted in the extent of $3,500. We're finished. Thank you.
That's fine.
Why is that excused? You may step out.
It was very unexpected. It was a very emotional call because I'm very, very close to my dogs. They're like my kids.
Think of it as like soccer camp. When you send your children to soccer camp, there is a chance that they may get injured.
So it's like sending your kids to daycare. You don't expect your kids to go to a daycare and come back with an eye missing.
So there's no guarantee when you send your dogs to daycare or to boarding that they won't get injured.
He's suffering from depression. He's not the same dog. He's not as active as he used to be. So it's like having a different dog now.
These animals are really important to us. I run a boarding kennel because I love dogs.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter, Stout versus Pittman. Step forward.
Samantha Stout is suing her former friend, Sue Ellen Pittman, for vandalizing her car with a golf club.
Ms. Stout, it is your claim that the defendant, who was a friend of yours for a while, vandalized your car for the damage. While the defendant acknowledges that she was at your home the night of the vandalizing of your car, and angry, she said that she certainly did not return later and vandalize your car. So, Ms. Pittman, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
You and the plaintiff used to be friends. Now, you had some sort of a falling out. Do you want to tell me what that falling out was about?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Who saw her vandalize your car with a golf club?
I saw her vandalize my car with a golf club.
Can I see photographs of the car?
Yes.
And you saw her with a golf club hitting your car?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see the pictures.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Samantha Stout says her former friend, Sue Ellen Pittman, came to her home in the middle of the night and vandalized her car with a golf club.
Now, you had some sort of a falling out. Do you want to tell me what that falling out was about?
Well, a week before, yes, she had confronted me and accused me of deliberately trying to hurt her on 2 matters. And I thought we had those smoothed out and cleared up. Everything seemed fine, and we were supposed to go out on the evening of the 15th.
And what happened on the 15th of March?
Well, I heard that she had been out with someone I was upset with.
A male or a female?
A male.
And you were upset with that person, that she had been out on a date with this person?
Yes.
Was it a date that she went out?
I don't know.
But that she went out with him? Mm-hmm. So you were upset. Is this somebody that you had been out with?
Someone who had used me, and I was done with.
So somebody that you had been out with, terminated a relationship with.
Yes.
Unpleasantly.
Yes.
And then you find out that your friend had been out with him, you don't know, socially or otherwise.
Right.
What happened on the 16th?
16th, I went out, and it was confirmed to me that, yes, she had been out with this person.
By someone else?
Yes.
And I'm allowing that in even though it's hearsay, because I'm trying to figure out what was in your mind when you went over to her house. So it was
I felt
confirmed
extremely...
to you that she had been out with this man that you had ended a relationship with under unpleasant circumstances,
yes.
and you went to her house at what time?
Probably between 11 and 12 at night.
Where had you been before that?
I had been out playing pool with a friend.
Did you drive or did the friend?
The friend was driving.
Your car or the friend's car?
Mine.
The friend was driving your car, I assume, because the friend was the designated driver,
yes.
which means you had been drinking.
Yes.
At 12 that evening, after an evening of playing pool and drinking and being angry at her for going out. And then what happened? You got to her house and?
It took a while, but I roused her boyfriend to the door.
How did you do that?
By knocking on the back door first and then the front door.
And this is 11 and 12. Now, was the house dark when you
yes,
got
it
there?
was.
That meant people were sleeping. Didn't matter because you were not in control, so you hit the back door and then you hit the front door.
Yes.
And then the boyfriend, is that the person that you knew?
Yes, I've met him.
Her boyfriend?
Yes.
Not the one that you had.
Live-in boyfriend, yes.
That was not the person that you knew, that
right.
you had this bad relationship. So a live-in boyfriend came to the door and?
Said she was asleep and could not come to the door.
And was not coming to the door. And did they escort you off the premises?
No.
You just left?
I kept demanding that she come, and she finally came.
Okay, so you woke her up, and you were loud and aggressive, because that's the only reason she would have come to the door. You were loud and aggressive, because you're visualizing this. And what did you say to her, and what did she say to you?
I don't remember a whole lot of what I said, but basically that she betrayed me. She was my friend, and I felt that she had betrayed me.
And she said to you?
To leave.
And?
I left.
And? That was it?
That was it.
Okay, pick it up from there. Can you tell me what you observed?
After the first incident, heard the dog barking, and Samantha was already up at this point. I go walking out the back, and Samantha's like, just looking at me like, what just happened here?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Samantha Stout says her former friend, Sue Ellen Pittman, came to her home in the middle of the night and vandalized her car with a golf club.
Okay, pick it up from there. Who saw her vandalize your car with a golf club?
I saw her vandalize my car with a golf club.
Tell me about it.
The second time she came to my house, I had heard some banging in the back door. I had a feeling it was her to return. This was around 12:10, 12:15.
Shortly after she had been told to leave the first time?
The first time, yes.
Okay. Can I see photographs of the car?
Yes.
And you saw her with a golf club hitting your car?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see the pictures. This is damage to the door?
One of the doors, yes, ma'am.
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did.
Did you have the police?
Your Honor, may I say something?
May I see those?
Absolutely. Are you Mr. Rapper?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you step up, please, Mr. Rapper?
Yes.
Mr. Rapper, I assume that if you were sleeping with your girlfriend, you also heard this banging.
Yes, ma'am.
After she left the first time.
Correct.
Can you tell me what you observed?
On the second time, I heard we had laid back down after the first incident, and I heard the dog barking, and Samantha was already up at this point. I'm a lot deeper sleeper than she is, so I woke up to the dog barking. I go walking out the back, and Samantha's like, just looking at me like, what just happened here?
So you didn't actually see the defendant hitting the car?
I saw her as she was peeling out of our driveway.
The second time?
The second time. Same truck that she drives, same truck that left the first time.
She wasn't driving?
Now that I can't say whether
she was driving or not.
Right.
She was not driving the first time she came.
As she was peeling out, it very much looked like her sitting in the driver's seat.
Do you have estimates both to fix the door and the car?
Yes.
I'd like to see them, please.
And also, as she was leaving the second time, she sent me the emoji of the middle finger as well.
Do you have that?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to take a look at it. Very good, thank you. Don't do things when you're drinking.
Can I comment on that?
Bad idea. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,500. We're done.
Parties are excused and they step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I think justice has been served, and I think the defendant is very crazy.
I don't play golf. I don't own golf clubs. I did not damage her vehicle with a golf club.
She's crazy around the neighborhood. She's very familiar with the Selma Police Department.
Could have been one of her other boyfriends or the girlfriend of one of the